You know, Idaho has been known for a lot of firsts over the years. Specifically, Sun Valley has been at the forefront of a lot of firsts. North America's first ski resort, which would then lead to the world's first chairlift. But did you know, apparently Sun Valley also can claim to be the birthplace of something that's left a, well, bit more lasting impression. It's a tune you've likely heard more than once.
Right foot. You put your right foot in.
It's like one of those earworms that you're not going to forget.
And you shake it all about.
A melody so memorable,
Boogie and you turn around. That's what it's all about.
you'd know it no matter the language.
It's not just an American thing. It's performed, it's danced, it's sung all around the world. The rhythmic repetition of it and the silliness of shaking your body parts and making eye contact with other people while you do it. With everybody facing each other, it kind of gives it that collective experience.
Do the Hokey Pokey!
A song so ingrained in America,
Put your right foot in.
even music professors profess its primary place in our past.
I mean, it was always a part of my kind of musical experience from elementary school on. I remember dancing it as a little kid.
You do the hokey pokey and
The Hokey Pokey. It seems so simple.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
However, how it got here isn't so simple.
It's complex, and some would say there's conspiracies behind the origin. There are a number of people who claim credit for the lyrics behind it, the moves, the rhythm.
it's all about left.
But its origin story, at least legally, can be linked to Idaho.
This trio in Sun Valley, they were entertaining the ski crowd in the late 1940s, early 1950s.
The Ram Trio, consisting of Larry LaPrise, Charles McCack, and Taft Baker, was the house band of the Ram restaurant at the Sun Valley Resort, beginning in 1939. The story goes, according to LaPrise, the band needed something catchy to get people to loosen up and out of their seats. So LaPrise wrote one and claimed the idea came from a French song his dad used to sing. Then, in 1949, the trio, now labeled as the Sun Valley Trio, put the Hokey Pokey on vinyl. The record ended up being a poor seller, but that wasn't the trio's only problem. You see, 3 years earlier, Robert Deegan and Joe Breyer recorded a similar song to entertain vacationers in the Poconos. So they sued LaPrise and settled, with LaPrise winning the rights to anything having to do with the Hokey Pokey. Jump ahead to 1953, when Ray Anthony and his orchestra put out their seminal Bunny Hop. On the B-side,
Right arm.
a version of the Hokey Pokey you might recognize. Years later, LaPrise would end up selling his rights to the song to Roy Acuff Music. And that's where the Hokey Pokey would put its whole self in on Idaho.
Shake it all about.
When Steve Burns joined the Idaho Community Foundation a few years ago, he found something on their list of more than 700 funds.
Well, you know, most people who set up a fund, it'll be, you know, the Smith Family Fund, the Jones Family Fund. And so to see a fund that was named the Hokey Pokey Scholarship Fund, I had to do a little bit of digging and research and say, what is this thing?
This thing goes back to 2001, when Larry LaPrise's family set up a scholarship, paid for by royalties from the Hokey Pokey.
This past year, I think it was about $3,000 worth of royalty checks.
But some years have been better than others.
A number of years ago, Sesame Street came out with an Elmo version of the Hokey, like Elmo would sing the Hokey Pokey.
Which meant those royalties shot up significantly.
How significantly?
You know, there's significantly more than $500,000 in the fund.
So, that Velveeta version, or Breland rendition, or whatever this is from Psycho Stick, all of it puts money in the fund, which helped the Hokey Pokey kick in $23,500 in tuition last year for second-year music students at the College of Southern Idaho.
You know, you could argue that Larry LaPrise's legacy was that he wrote this song that we're all familiar with. I like to think of his legacy as he's going to continue to help, you know, generations of musicians.
It's such a simple song.
Yeah.
but as you said, a lasting impact.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Couldn't resist.
Wait, do we have to pay them now? That's what I want to know. Okay, so we know the origin story of the Hokey Pokey is a little bit more complex than just the two versions we mentioned. What we left out, for the sake of time, was how the song has roots in folk songs dating back to 18th and maybe even 19th century Britain. There's also the theory it was a parody of a Latin line pulled from the Catholic Mass, Hocus Pocus, or that it was the brainchild of a British band leader, Al Tabor, who created a dance in 1942 he claimed was about London ice cream sellers of his youth, what he called Hokey Pokey men. That same year, Irish songwriter Jimmy Kennedy, he created a dance called the Hokey Pokey, something to entertain Canadian troops stationed in England. He called it that, the theory goes, in a nod to something Canadian miners used to sing as an ode to cocaine. It was called the Hokey Pokey. Okay, so none of that changes the fact that Larry LaPrise won the American rights, and 5 years after he died in 1996, his family set up a scholarship fund with the proceeds. And all that to say, you too can contribute to Idaho's largest giving campaign. That's Idaho Gives. Idaho Gives begins today and runs through Thursday. More than 650 nonprofits and scholarship funds will benefit from what you put in. Arm and leg not required, but you might want to shake it all about after you get that warm feeling for helping. And we can tell you right now, we are up to $1 million. More than $1 million have been donated so far since this morning, with 2,000, nearly 3,000 donors. So that's pretty good. And we got 3 days left. Again, goes through May 1st. Make your donation at idahogives.org.